Hello everyone. In the sequence of online classes, today I am going to discuss with you Parkinson's disease. Parkinson's disease is a slowly progressive nervous system disorder chiefly affecting the extrapyramidal system, affecting mature adults and has a characteristic clinical picture. This disease is prevalent in about 1% of the adult population over the age of 50 years. And as you know, the age of onset ranges between 30 to 70 years with an average onset age of 55 years. And the male and female ratio is 3 is to 2. Now, I would like to discuss about clinical findings in Parkinson's disease. I will complete this lecture in two classes. Today I will discuss about the clinical findings, and in next class I will discuss about pathophysiology of Parkinson's disease and management of Parkinson's disease. The classical description of the disease by James Parkinson in 1817 contains almost all the major manifestations of the disease. The patients look or you can say the patient's face is expressionless, known as mask like faces, and the frequency of eye blinking is decreased. However, the usual rate of blinking is about 20 per minute. In Parkinson's disease, this is reduced to 5 to 10 per minute. And the eyes appear to be staring ahead. The patients appear to move stiffly and slowly as he sits, stands up, or begins to walk. The slowness and difficulty in the initiation of voluntary movements is called bradykinesia. I repeat, the slowness and difficulty in the initiation of voluntary movement is called bradykinesia, and there is also a poverty of movement which is known as hypokinesia, and the patient makes fewer spontaneous gestures while talking, listening, or walking. When the patient stands erect, there is mild flexion of the head and trunk, elbows, and knees, and the feet may be placed slightly apart. There is a postural instability so that the patient may need to take a step to prevent falling if given a firm but gentle forward or backward push on the sternum while standing. The walk is described as Parkinsonian or festinant gait. It is on such type of gait only found you can find in Parkinson's disease. It is always asked in uh, medical officer or any other examinations as a multiple choice questions, that fascinating gait found in which kind of disease or which disease. So uh, just you can remember Parkinsonian gait or fascinating gait found in Parkinson's disease. While walking, the patient leans forwards and starts walking very slowly with a shuffling gait and short steps. After a few steps, the patient moves forward faster and faster, as though to catch up with his own center of gravity. There is decrease of associated arm movement. A small obstacle such as a threshold may stop the patient in his tracks, and the act of turning around is achieved by bringing both feet together and then moving around in a series of small steps rather than in the smooth fashion typical of a normal person. You know, tremor, tremor. You can you find tremor in Parkinson's disease. Here, resting tremor you can see in Parkinson's patient. There is a resting tremor characteristically involving the hands in a pin rolling movement, and the tremor diminishes during voluntary movements and disappears during sleep. It is increased by emotional stress. If the patient is asked to draw a spiral, the tremor is clearly brought out, and the handwriting becomes small and cramped, particularly towards the end of a sentence. That is micrographia. Rigidity is a type of hypertonia caused by a uniform increase in muscle tone in all limb muscle, unlike spasticity, where tone is selectively increased to a greater extent in some muscle groups. Also, unlike spasticity, power and reflexes remain nearly normal. The rigidity may remain normal throughout the range of movements imposed by the examiner, that is, lead pipe rigidity, also called plastic rigidity, or it may be interrupted by a regular series of brief interruptions similar to the sensation of moving a lever over a cocked gear wheel, which is known as cogwheel rigidity. In Parkinson's disease, cogwheel rigidity is seen, lead pipe rigidity being more common with frontal lobe lesion. And the patient complains not of rigidity but of muscle pain, fatigue, and joint stiffness. At the onset, all symptoms are typically asymmetrical, with one side being affected more than the others. Later, the symptoms are bilateral. Other symptoms you may see uh, like seborrhea and increased salivation, postural hypotension, depression, and in rare cases, dementia. The dementia is characterized by prominent bradyphrenia, that is, a slowness of responses to the questions. Sleep disturbances may include an inability to turn in bed as well as occurrence of nightmares. Daytime hallucinations may occur due to the disease or as a side effect of the treatment, that is, dopamine induced. So, these are the clinical findings of Parkinson's disease. You can just remember this thing like mask-like faces, bradykinesia and hypokinesia, fascinant gait, pin rolling movement, hypertonic rigidity, lead pipe rigidity, cogwheel rigidity, postural hypertension, dementia, and daytime hallucinations. Now, uh, I would like to say differential diagnosis. What would be the differential diagnosis for Parkinsonism disease? Then, essential tremors. You can differentiate it from essential tremor. Tremor was in essential tremor. Tremor was with posture and action. There should be a family history, but no rigidity seen in essential tremor. Whereas in Parkinson's disease, you have seen lead pipe rigidity and cogwheel rigidity was there. So you can differentiate uh, essential tremor with Parkinson's disease with the symptom tremors was with the posture and action and family history, but no rigidity. Response to alcohols. Essential tremor, patient of essential tremors response to alcohol. It means in alcoholic patient you can find essential tremor. Another one is drug induced Parkinsonism, like neuroleptics, metoclopramide, and calcium channel blockers. Rigidity prominent, but there may be tremor, oculogyric crisis, buccolingual dyspraxia, and retrocolis. Alzheimer's disease. In Alzheimer's diseases, early prominent dementia, particularly with dysphagia and dyspraxia. Progressive supranuclear palsy, early falling eye movement abnormalities. You have seen in Parkinson's disease postural hypertension, multi-system atrophy, hydrocephalus. So these are the disorders for differential diagnosis of Parkinson's disease. That is, you can just remember again: essential tremor, drug-induced Parkinsonism, multiple cerebral infarcts, Alzheimer's disease, progressive supranuclear palsy, multi-system atrophy, and hydrocephalus. So this is all about for today. In next class we will discuss about the pathophysiology of Parkinson's disease and management of Parkinson's disease. Thank you.